Remedy Entertainment's strong reputation hinges on a few key facets like unique presentation, a one-of-a-kind sense of humor and tone, and off-the-wall world-building ideas, but addictive, endlessly rewarding gameplay isn't one of them. This is one of the reasons why FBC, Firebreak, a new live service, cooperative multiplayer game set in the burgeoning Remedy-connected universe, is so interesting, and such a big risk for the beloved developer. Perhaps the greatest achievement of FBC, Firebreak is that it manages to retain so many of Remedy's strengths. It still feels like a Remedy game, with its bizarre mission types, unsettling enemies and encounters, and off-kilter charm. It's also further evidence of Remedy refusing to limit itself, presenting new mechanics and ambitious gameplay systems unlike anything the studio has dabbled in before. Indeed, it's rare to find a multiplayer FPS with such a strong identity and spirit. At the same time, FBC, Firebreak struggles to be consistently engaging. It has true moments of brilliance, brought about through the serendipity characteristic of the best co-op games, but they are few and far between. Additionally, many of the game's systems and gimmicks, though often endearing in that classic Remedy way, can also be more annoying than fun. Depending on your perspective, some of these issues may either be exacerbated or assuaged by the fact that FBC, Firebreak has a leg in the live service space, with new content and ongoing support in the pipeline. For a lot of players, this release strategy will feel like putting the cart before the horse, betting on the future rather than providing the best possible experience in the present. FBC, Firebreak is a standout example of Remedy Entertainment's creativity. Like the rest of Remedy's catalog, FBC, Firebreak shines through its originality. Instead of filling the role of superpowered heroes or decked-out military operatives, players are mere blue-collar workers, clocking in for the daily grind at the oldest house and treating their dangerous tasks as matters of protocol. Rather than intimidating loadouts packed with high-tech gear, Firebreak has three classes, called Crisis Kits, for players to choose from. Fix Kit, Splash Kit, Jump Kit. Each kit is defined by its main tool. Fix Kit features a massive wrench that can speed up repairs, Splash Kit has a back-mounted water propulsion system, and Jump Kit provides players with a sort of industrial defibrillator, used to recharge batteries or power up certain traps. It's through these kits that the central pillars of FBC, Firebreak are revealed. The game revolves around maintenance, there just so happen to be deadly enemies running amok in the background. Thus, Firebreak functions best when each teammate is kitted up appropriately for the job at hand. For instance, during a hotfix job, which revolves around repairing various fans and recharging generators, Fix Kits and Jump Kits will be most effective, as they facilitate faster completion of these essential tasks. Fix Kits represent FBC, Firebreak's greatest mechanical stroke of genius. None are strictly required for any mission, all of their basic functions can be completed manually, if you so choose, but they nevertheless reward astute players for their forethought and planning. Moreover, they synergize nicely with one another, leading to unexpectedly satisfying moments of teamwork. For instance, a player with a Splash Kit can apply the wet status effect to enemies, amplifying the effects of shock, which can be applied by a player wielding a Jump Kit. As players grow accustomed to these different kits, they will unlock different abilities, like an ultimate attack or a tactical tool, that add further dimensions to the gameplay loop. This makes FBC, Firebreak a terrific cooperative experience, as different kits, coupled with distinct playstyles, weapon choices, and perks, combine for refreshing and unpredictable teamwork scenarios. When the game's disparate elements come together correctly, it can feel like working with a competent and talented group of peers, chipping away at a task with practiced efficiency and strong communication. Indeed, FBC, Firebreak does a great job of delivering on its premise of supernatural-infused labor, but this leaves a burning question. Is it actually fun to do this virtual work? FBC, Firebreak can feel mundane and surprisingly pedestrian. There are a few obstacles that stand in the way of FBC, Firebreak's strengths, the most devastating of which is all-encompassing. Its various game modes aren't always that enjoyable. Take Paper Chase, a game mode that tasks players with destroying thousands upon thousands of SPC-like sticky notes, a task that is as painfully boring as it sounds. What's more is that it's not enough to simply shoot these stationary sticky notes, they have to be wet first. This makes the game mode incredibly monotonous and trivial, even if you try to get clever with different in-game tools, like humidifiers, which can speed up the overall job process. You're still just shooting sticky notes while taking a break every now and then to defend against waves of hiss. On level 3 of Paper Chase, you'll face off against Sticky Ricky, a massive sticky note boss, which is a nice change of pace, but not enough to make up for the bland gameplay preceding the encounter. The other game modes aren't quite as egregiously bland as Paper Chase, but they tend to have the same reliance on repetitive, boring tasks. It doesn't help that the game's enemy variety is lacking, and that the powerful enemies, which serve as mini-bosses during most jobs, are just buffed versions of standard foes. Hopefully, Remedy has some big plans for new game modes, builds, and enemy types in future updates. Of course, this brings us to another one of FBC, Firebreak's fundamental problems, the live service formula. At this stage, it feels like a lot is missing from FBC, Firebreak, and all too common live service trend. Weapon selection is sparse and uninspired, there's no gun-crafting or any other way to meaningfully customize your gunplay experience, and personalization in general is dull and limited. It's unfortunate, because Firebreak's basic battle pass is quite satisfying in some ways. You gain access to new abilities and mechanics as you level up. But progression as a whole feels kneecapped by the live service model. Remedy already plans to deliver a good bit of fresh content to FBC, Firebreak in 2025, including 2 all-new game modes, which will hopefully be less tedious than what's currently on offer. But either way, Firebreak may be a bit of a wait-and-see situation. It doesn't feel like it has enough meat on its bones to justify its $40 asking price, not to mention its paid battle passes. Firebreak has the bones of a truly exceptional co-op game, and hopefully, Remedy will get the chance to deliver it.